taking forever for me to actually be able to go live. But here we go. Alright, we are live for the Bendy. Sorry if my voice is annoying to you guys. I don't know if you guys enjoy these classes or not. But I'm trying to be energetic. It's the morning. We just did Get Buff with Coach Alex. That's this one. Oh, it's not working now. Ah, come on, my title didn't work. It was supposed to go like that. There you go. We just did that, and this time we're doing this. Let's get bendy. I hope you guys are able to join me for the Get Buff. Today, for Get Bendy, we are going to be doing a lower body stretch. Words and things. Cool. Alright, starting with our legs, we're going to stretch out, starting kind of from the hips and then working our way down a little bit. We're going to do both right leg and our left leg, and our buns and our thighs, and we'll see where that takes us. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Here we go. Alright guys, I want you guys to start up on your feet. We're going to get our legs moving just a little bit, so go ahead, give them a little shake, moving them side to side. We got to wake them up if they're not awake already. And next, what I want you to do is we're just going to plant them firmly on the ground, and we're going to give a little bit of a twist. So this is introducing just a little bit of a movement into our spine, which, believe it or not, guys, our spine is connected to our legs. So, you know, if our legs hurt, our spine's going to hurt. If our spine hurts, our leg's going to hurt. Hope your spine doesn't hurt, but necessarily the muscles around the spine might be a little tight. Okay, next, let's put our feet kind of tight together, and we're going to do around the worlds like this. Woo, bring it around town. Just hip movements, moving them around. Bring it around town. And then switch direction. Swinging your hips in a circle, kind of like you're doing a hula hoop. Alrighty. Go ahead, take your legs out wider into a straddle like so. And what I want us to do is we're just going to lean to one side, bending that one knee. The other leg stays straight. You should start to feel a stretch on the inside of your leg. If you don't quite feel it, go ahead and bend in a little bit deeper. And then push back to the center, and we're going to lower to the other side. Again, just going down far enough with this bent leg to feel a stretch in our inner hip. You guys want to make sure that your hips stay square, so that means they're facing forward. We're not turning on either side just yet. We're staying square. This will be the inner side of our thigh. And back to the center. Now we are going to turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to turn it facing the wall here. And I'm going to bend it forwards. And my right leg is going to slightly turn, and I'm going to start to feel a stretch on the front of my hip. So I'm just lowering down. My right leg is staying straight in the back, going down as far as I can to, or not as far as I can, but far enough to just feel the stretch. And go ahead and push back to the center, rotating to the other side, and leaning forwards. So again, just stretching that front hip. It is our hip flexor. It's part of our quad, or connected to our quads. Bending that front foot, leaning forward, and back to the center. Now, keeping both legs straight, I want us to reach up to the ceiling, and we're going to reach forwards, okay? So both of my legs are straight, and I'm trying to get a flat back, like so. So I'm reaching my arms forwards, my back is trying to be flat, my head is still up. It is not down like this, curling my back. It is up, looking forwards. And then what I want you to do, ready, I'm going to shift so you guys can see, is I'm going to reach over one foot, still reaching forward, still trying to get that flat back. I'm reaching forwards, reaching over to the side, over one foot, and then I'm going to swing over to the other foot, reaching forwards, over that other foot, trying to have a flat back. And now I'm going to relax down to the center. I want you guys to imagine there's a line in between your feet on the floor, and you're going to put your hands on that line. And now we're going to reach over and put both hands on one foot. I'm reaching over to my right side, and I'm making sure I'm taking my left hand and reaching all the way to touch my foot. If you can't quite touch your foot, you can grab onto your shin, but I want you to try to keep your legs straight, reaching down. If touching your foot is kind of easy for you, go ahead and touch the floor on the outside of your foot. Holding it there. And then swing over to the other side, hands reaching. So now I'm touching my left foot and I'm making sure my right hand is reaching all the way over to touch as well. Hold that position there. Fingers reaching, reaching, reaching. And then I want you to come one more time back to the center. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to cross our arms like so. And we're going to relax our head and our shoulders. And we're just going to rock side to side. Nice and gentle, side to side. And then I want you to slowly come on up. You can bend your knees to stand up tall. Whew, nicely done. Next, we're going to stand with our feet together. With our feet together, we're going to reach up to the ceiling, and we're going to do the same thing where we reach forwards, trying to keep a flat back, looking forwards at our fingertips towards our pike. Our legs are staying straight, and then we're going to reach down and see if you can touch your toes. Our back here, guys, is trying to stay straight, so we're only bending at our hips. If you're curling your shoulders over, you've gone a little too far. Think about keeping your chin up. That will help keep your spine in a straight position. If you can't quite touch your toes, that is alright, but try to work towards it, reaching down as far as you can, but keeping straight legs. If you can touch your toes, touch the floor. If you can touch the floor, put your hands flat on the floor. And come on up, bending those knees to stand up. Very nice. All right, next we're going to do what I call the letter E stretch. So you're going to stand with your feet together. One foot comes forward, like so, flexing our toes. Then our hands reach down and touch that foot. Our back leg, the leg that is behind, can bend. The front leg is straight. Don't fall over like me. Grabbing onto our toes. You should feel a stretch in the back of your calf muscle here. If you need a little bit more stretch, sink a little bit lower, but also think about pulling your toes towards you and dropping your elbows towards your knee. And then we're going to come back up, and we're going to switch legs. We're going to put the other leg out in front, and we're going to reach forward, grabbing our toes. Back leg, again, is bent. Front leg is straight. And if you need more stretch, flex your toes a little bit more. Bring your elbows towards your knees. And relax back up. Tall. Alright, guys. Next, we are going to move into some quad stretches. The way that we're going to do this one is if you need something to balance on, you can. But we're just going to lift our leg up, grab onto our ankle, and then try to bring our knees together, okay? I'm using my same arm as my same knee here, okay? Holding it there. Try to bring your foot to your bum and knees together. If you need to help balancing, you certainly can put your hand on something, but I challenge you to try to do it without. Now, if you're hopping around, you need to find your balance first. So grab onto something, hold on to it, and then put a slight bend in your knee that is on the floor, and slowly lift your hand up off of whatever it is you're holding on to maintain your balance. If you're jumping around to keep your balance, you're not actually stretching, so that is not what I want to see. Alright, let's switch legs. So put the other foot down, grabbing on, knees together. Your foot is trying to come towards your bum. Holding it there. Very nice. And relax it back down. Cool. Let's go feet out wide. We're going to move into our Spider-Man, Spider-Woman stretches, whoever you think is cooler. And what that means is we're going to lower ourselves down. I am on my toes on this leg that is bent. It is bent all the way down. I'm trying to sit on my bum. My other leg is out straight. Okay? And I'm going to lean into that leg, trying to feel a stretch on the inside of my leg here. And then I'm going to stay low to the ground as I shift my weight over to the other side, moving the stretch into my other leg, holding it there. Very nice. Alright, while we're over on this side, you're going to rotate your foot up so your toes are pointing towards the ceiling. I want you to flex your foot and reach one hand towards your toes. You'll feel the stretch shift from the inside of your leg to the back of your leg and into your calf muscle. And then go ahead and put those toes back on the ground. We're going to shift over to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. So rotate so our toes point towards the ceiling, flex our foot, grab onto our toes. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, drop your elbow towards your knee. And then go ahead, shift into the middle, keep our bums low, and we're going to try to sit up. This is called the sumo. Alright, so trying to drop our hips down low. And go ahead and relax out of that. And we are going to take a seat. Let's see what time it is. Nice. Been going for about 10 minutes or so. Okay. Now that we've sat down, that's the word I was looking for. Now that we've sat down, we're going to continue our leg stretches, moving on to one leg. So put one leg out straight. The other leg is going to tuck in. Foot comes in nice and tight to our leg here. This knee goes down towards the floor. We are going to sit up nice and tall, so drop those shoulders backwards, and then we're going to reach and lean forward. I want you guys to think about your belly button coming towards your knee as your arms reach out. See if you can get close to your foot. Your foot here can be relaxed. We're going to point and flex it in just a second here. See if you can reach the outsides of your foot. And now I want you to point your foot. When your foot is pointed, if you are grabbing onto it, you should reach around the sides. Okay? Keep this leg here that is straight. Don't let it bend. If it starts to bend, you need to lean. You need to sit up just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to flex our feet and we're going to grab onto our toes, dropping our elbows towards our knees, still sitting up with our chest, trying to get our belly button to come down. And sit on up straight. While we're here, we're going to do our gluteus maximus stretch. That means put your foot over the top here, and you're going to hug your knee in tight. When you're doing this stretch, guys, I want this foot to be on the ground, and it's going to try to be on the ground as close to your back as possible. So you're going to bring it in nice and tight. You're going to sit up nice and tall, and you're going to pull your knee in. If you slouch over and you go like this, and you kind of like hug your knee like this, you're not stretching it enough. Sit up tall. All right, give it a nice tight squeeze. Very nice. And while we're here, we're going to get our ankle moving too. So why don't we roll out our ankle nice and easy with our hands, please. If you just do it with your foot, that's okay. But I want you to use your hand as well. So do some with your hand, do some with just your foot, do some more with your hand, and make sure you wiggle your toes while you do this. Wake up your whole foot. Alright, we're going to switch to the other side. So one foot goes in, the opposite leg goes out straight. Feet are neutral, sitting up tall, leaning our belly button towards our knee, reaching our hands towards our feet, trying to reach around the side. And now point your foot when your toes are pointed. You're trying to reach around the side of your foot. This leg must stay straight. Belly button towards the knee. And now flex your feet, grabbing on tight. See if you can get your elbows to drop down towards your knee. Alright, sit on up, tall. Foot comes over the top, places it on the ground as close to your bum as possible. And you're going to sit up nice and tall, hugging your knee, no slouching over. This is an intense one for me this morning. I'll give you 2 guesses as to what I'm going to do after this ends. I'm going to do more stretching. Alright, and while we're here, time to wake up our ankle. Roll it around. Wiggle your toes. Awesome. Okay, now that we've got both legs stretched out, let's put both legs out straight into our pike position. We're going to point our toes and we're going to lean our belly forwards, trying to get our belly to go down flat on our legs. Hands are reaching around the sides of our feet. So again, you're trying to get your belly as far down onto your legs as possible, and then from there, your chest try to come down towards your knees, and your chin should be able to stay up for the time being. This is going to keep our back a little bit straighter, which is going to put the stretch into our hamstrings rather than into our back. So go ahead, lower yourself down as far as you can now. You can curl your back so you can lower your head down. And come gently up, but not all the way, because we are going to flex our feet. Your goal here is to get your heels to lift off the ground as your elbows drop down towards your knees. And go ahead, let go of your feet. Shake out your legs a little bit. Woo-wee. Okay, next I want to move into our butterfly stretch. So, butterfly stretch, feet come together, knees go out to the side. You're trying to drop your knees towards the floor, and your feet are trying to open up wide. So, a couple things you can do here. You can open your feet up like a book with your hands, and that will help you get yourself down. You can grab on your ankles and push with your elbows, or what I like to do is grab around my toes, and I'm going to use my own muscles in my legs to try to go over my knees. So I'm here, and I'm going to open them up as wide as you can. So if you were to imagine you were flapping your wings, it's that opening motion that I'm trying to do as hard as I can as I brace myself against my toes. Trying to get my knees to drop down further. Make sure you are breathing. Alright, come on out of the butterfly stretch. Next we're going to do a small straddle stretch. So that means feet are wide, wider than they were in a pike. And what we're going to do is you're going to pick one leg and reach down that one leg. Take your arm and put it by your ear as you reach. So my right arm is reaching down around the side. My left arm is reaching over my head by my ear to my toes. And I'm stretching on my right side. And then I'm going to switch to the other side. So I'm reaching down with my left arm to my left leg. My right arm is going to reach up and over, reaching for my foot. And then come on up from that. And next what we're going to do is you're going to try to bring your belly towards the floor. You're going to reach down. Your hands can grab around the inside of your feet. Keep your chest facing forward. So that means you're going to try to open yourself up like so. Keep your chin up high. Try to get belly to the floor. Awesome. Come on out. Moving, going left to right. And then what we're going to do is you're going to take your opposite arm and you're going to reach over your head and try to touch. And then we do the same on the other side and touch. So I'm taking my right arm over to my left toes. And then my left arm over to my right toes. And I'm moving side to side, reaching over my head. Over my head. Very nice. Very nice. That feels great. Go ahead and sit up in the middle. What we can do now is we're going to, well, let me check the time. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're getting there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is you guys are going to sit and slowly, actually, let's go towards one foot. So I'm going to pick my left leg. I'm going to lower my belly down towards my leg here. Reach my hands out towards my feet. Try to get both hands around my foot. And then I'm going to switch to the other side. So reaching down my right leg. Both hands are trying to get down towards my foot. And then come on up into the middle. And next we're going to keep our chest up tall. And we're going to reach as far forward as we can. If you can do a pancake, that means belly to the floor. Go ahead and do that one for me. That would be wonderful. And if you're like me and you can't get down that far, you can give a gentle rock up and down to kind of help. Try to think about your chest staying up as your belly tries to drop through. It's really confusing and weird, but it's going to help. Alrighty. Come on out. Give your legs a good jiggle, shake. Wiggle around for me. There you have it, guys. This has been, what is this? This is Let's Get Bendy with Coach Alex. I hope you guys are warmed up and ready to go for the day. Your legs are all stretched out, ready to move, ready to stay stretched, right? Cool. All right, thank you for joining me, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully the weather is nice. Hopefully everything is good. And remember, never stop moving. Never stop learning. Never stop challenging yourself. There you go. Bye, guys.